again. Welcome to today's attempt of a Stepdle puzzle. I'm going to start with words that begin with W, because last time I attempted this game, all of my starting guesses started with V. So of course we're just going through the alphabet. Let's start with some wind. Gives us an N, that's not too bad. Will this get us any nearer? It doesn't. Wow, we've ruled out the E and the A. So clearly we need an O or a U, possibly both. The N is second or fourth. Let's try onus, because that lets us try both the remaining vowels. Ooh, only then, isn't it? There we go. The only option at that stage, I'm pretty sure. We started with wind, let's go to water next for the 5-letter word beginning with W. Gives me the A and the E. Pretty good start. Let's chase them along a little bit into new positions. Oh, the E is correct, but the A is going to be first. So we have to think agilely to solve this. It could be ample or apple. Oh, it's none of the above because there isn't even an L. That's very unexpected. What are we going to do next? Probably going to need another vowel. How about above? I'll be very annoyed if it's abode. It's neither of the above, but at least the O is correct, and we've got the B. I think it's going to have to be adobe. I'm not sure there's any other options for that second letter. That is a relatively uncommon word though, so I'm not going to beat myself up about not getting it faster. In fact, I'm not going to whinge about it. And I'm not going to whinge about that. We've got 2 vowels straight away, yet again. Right. The E isn't last, so let's try an ED or an ER ending, I think. How about Mr.? Wow. No R, S or T. We tried a bunch of common consonants there and it didn't pay off at all. Right, so that E, it's not going to be first, is it? It's going to be third or fourth. Almost certainly fourth, but not definitely. Can't be widely, but it could be an LY ending, as long as I can think of something to go before those last 2 letters. And I'm not sure I can. With the E in third, I would expect it to be something like pieced, which would obviously need another E at the end, which we can't have. So I am still fairly convinced that the E is fourth. How about lively, if we can't have the other word that widely, that was it. I don't want to repeat the L, but of course widely isn't an option, and this is. And this is the correct option. Very happy about that. Right. We need a 7-letter word beginning with W. We've had a whinge. Let's stop working and watch this video. And we've got some consonants for the first time. Okay, we've ruled out a couple of vowels, so it's the opposite to all of the other attempts we've had so far. Now, what is the ending of this word going to be? We haven't got an ing ending, so I'm going to get the E involved, possibly an ed ending. Could be er, but I don't want to try a duplicated R at this stage if I can help it. The trouble is, I mean, there are other options. I'm going to hate myself for this because I don't like duplicating letters, but the first option I thought of was nurture. Oh, it's remotely not close. That's terrible grammar. You know what I mean. I knew I was going to regret going for that. What are we going to do instead? We can't even be partner now. I'm thinking that the N is probably fourth. That was what I was thinking a minute ago, but I just couldn't think of something quickly enough. Earn something? Can't be earning. Or earnest. What would the ending of the word be? I suppose it could be ANCE. What would go before an RANCE then? Something like a glance, but with an R instead of an L. Or prance, but with a letter before it. Or something like strange, Except we can't use the T or the G, and the E can't be last. Okay, so no, the E can't be last. So it can't be A-N-C-E. Why was I going down that rabbit hole? Right. What are we going to go for? D-E as a beginning? Something like derange, but not quite derange, because the E can't be last? I don't know, and it's very annoying. Furnace would have been a much better guess last time. There are so many words now that I can think of that would have been better guesses on that previous attempt, but we've now ruled out all of the letters that we need to be able to go for that. Well, not quite all the letters, but several of the letters. Car something? That's not a word. It's not even a duplicated R, so it's not going to be a double R or an ER ending. I do still think that an ED ending is most likely. But if it is ER, then it's probably going to have to be something like that. I'm going to go for something that is definitely not correct. We can't use the G, but I'm struggling to think of any other options. And that has been helpful. It's not an ED ending, clearly. We don't have a duplicated E. I still haven't got the N or the E in the right place, which is pretty unlucky. I've got 5/7 of this word, but it's still so difficult to work out what's going on. The N is probably there? Veranda? No, veranda? Credenza? What word am I thinking of? I think I am thinking of veranda, but clearly it's not correct. It's almost possibly correct, but the A isn't fourth. But it's going to give me some useful information, surely. We do have a duplicated A. What on earth is going on with this word? It's not even a DE beginning. Okay, so the E has to go there. We've ruled it out from every other position. It's very unlucky that we've still only got it in yellow. Adrenal is going to be the right answer. That's a relatively uncommon word. I'm a little bit upset that it took me so many guesses. I definitely should have used better guesses, particularly nurture was a bit of a waste. But that was going to be a tricky one regardless, I think. That's what happens if you start working. It just takes ages. That is the moral here. But we solved the puzzle. Still had 3 guesses left in hand, as you can see at the top. So definitely not my best, but also definitely not my worst. That is Stepdle Puzzle W. Thank you for watching. If there was an 8-letter one, I'd have started with that. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.